Hello, everyone. This is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and I am here today on April the 15th, 2020, for my Flosstube number 10. I thank you all so very much for the comments, the likes, and the support. If you are new to my channel, thank you very much for stopping by and seeing um, if there's something that I am doing that might interest you. If you are a new subscriber, which I've had quite a few, I thank you for subscribing and going along with me on this journey. Um, and if you are a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so very much for sticking with me and following me along, giving me all the encouragement. I really appreciate it. It's been a couple of weeks since I've recorded. My life has been really hectic with work. So um, I just want you all to know that I am still stitching. I'm coming along nicely. Stitching right now is like the only outlet that I really have. So I have been doing a lot of stitching and just working a whole lot. And that's why it's been a couple of weeks. When I have to work a lot of overtime at the end of the day, I am just like wore out. And so it's been um, not not that you all and Flosstube is not a priority, but I also need to get some rest. So that's what I have been doing. So we're going to jump right into it today. I did want to let you all know that I did meet my goal. I'm not for sure how many of you follow me on Instagram. I did post it in quite a few of, well, one, no, two Facebook groups that I'm in, that I did make my goal and I did finish my Martin Luther King sampler. And I actually finished it on Saturday, April the 3rd. Um, and I love it. Um, I actually, the chart actually ended with um, do what is right, which is the end of the quote. And then this is actually the bottom border right underneath that quote. But I talked to Miss Barbara at Keepsakes, and we came up with a way for me to be able to finish it, um, where I could put his initials in and his date of birth and the date of his assassination and consequently his death. And as you can see, I did get it all in by, I took the star block motifs and added those down here. I used this just to give it some separation and then brought the border all the way down. And I still have quite a bit of fabric. So once it gets framed, all that fabric will be gone. And so I want you to see it. And so very proud of it, I am. I was telling Miss Barbara that this is probably the largest pattern that I have finished. I've started large ones. This is probably the largest, though, that I have finished. So I did meet my goal and I was ecstatic over it. And I thank you all for all the wonderful comments also. If you do follow me on Instagram, I had a lot of Instagram, I don't know what to call it, Instagram posts, but I'm new to Instagram, kind of, sort of, a little bit, and so it takes me a while to get acclimated to it. And I also have another finish. This is the March Flower of the Month that Just Cross Stitch did the year-long sale last year in 2020, and I finished the March flower. And so now I have to come up with a way to finish it. I still haven't really figured out how to finish it, and I guess I'll just be using those come next year to decorate with, since I'm currently stitching them. So I also have some new starts. Once I finished with Martin Luther King's Ambler, because I was almost stitching it monogamously at the end, because I was determined I was going to meet my goal. I started a few other projects that I wanted to work on, and the first one is a new start, and it is A Little Beach by Lizzie Kate. And I do believe that I picked this chart up off the freebie table at my first Stitch Away in 2020. And I'm like, why does that seem foreign to me? Because I forget that things didn't really lock down until March. I was looking at my driver's license today, and it said that I renewed them January 2020. And I was like, no, I couldn't have. And then I was like, no, the lockdown didn't happen until March. So hence why it just seems strange to me when I say, oh, I did this in 2020. Because there was only 3 months of stuff that was done in 2020. So, and this is where I'm at so far with it. I started in the very center because of the way that I wanted the fabric to shine around it, or not shine around it, the way I wanted the fabric to be orientated. So up in this part, as you can see, this is a 16 count Marigold by Fortnite Fabrics, and the modeling on it, the part up here is a little lighter, and because of that, there's I almost called him a pigeon, but see all the white on the little bird? What would that, I don't know what that would be called. I'm not a big bird person. Seagull. And I didn't go with the brownish fabric because I wanted it to look like it was sunny and beachy. So it's a really, this was one day of stitching. It is actually a very small project. So once I get back to it, I have this down for my monthly magazine challenge. This month the acrostic is rain. And so I'm using this as the N for a new start. And my hope is to get it completed by the end of the month. And here comes Albert with his noisy, clunky claws. My next new start is, I'm not petting you. Go out, move. My next new start was also Lizzie Kate, 3 Little Words. And I work on the 3 Little Word projects on Wednesdays. And I started this last Wednesday, which was April the 7th. And I stitched the stars then, and the move on, and this border that separates it. And then yesterday I worked on the Y. And these are fun. They are really fun. I am stitching these all on this same fabric, which is a 14 count lamb's wool Aida. And this will be my Wednesday. I'm going to work on these projects every Wednesday so that I can move them along. There are 6 or 8 charts in the whole series, and so I want to get those done this year. I don't want them to keep carrying on. So that is Move On by Lizzie Kate. And my next new start, I actually don't have, yes I do. Well, I don't know that I could show it. It is Serendipity by the Fat Quarter Shop. It is their charity stitch along. And this is what it will look like. I am actually doing mine on the call for fabric with the DMC threads, and this is where I have gotten to. I started this much later than what they have started. The third piece came out today, but I'm just going to work on it until I get it done, however long that might take. I'm not in a rush to do it. These blocks up here were very long because I don't carry threads very much. I had to stop and start and stop and start. And then I tried to figure out a path to where I could just keep going all the way down. So that's where I'm at with that. And like I said, the third part dropped this week, or today, I'm sorry. And so I'm going to just continue on stitching it until I get caught up or finish. I believe it's due to finish in June. So I'll just keep plugging away at it. I had hoped that I would be able to carry this project and like make it when I go visit or during Zoom calls, but right now, because it's so much stop and start, I'm not able to do that yet. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep moving along with it as it goes. Like I said, I'm not in a rush. I'm sorry, I'm looking for my pencil because I'm trying to keep track of my notes. So with that being said, I do not have very many whips. I will show you. So again, for the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge group, the acrostic is Rain, and for the R, I chose Steel Rose, which was also the start that I did for Carolyn Zook's birthday fabric blue, and I will be pulling that back out again. And then I will have a new start next week because I'm going to stitch the April flower of the month for the A. So that will be getting started probably tomorrow. So that I can get moving along on that, because you know it's April the 15th is the middle of the month, and I just have been doing a whole lot. So then the next for I chose my ink circles that I started back in January. It is one thing about being in a group, I will say, that have acrostics and keep you moving. You get to go back through and pull out projects that you're still working on and still, you know, okay, I'm done with this one for now. I'm going to put it in the, but then when you get an acrostic, you can be like, oh, let me go pull this out and this out. And so, for I'm using ink circles, and it is the Seasonal Sun Shine. And if you remember, so I have not worked on this piece as of yet for the acrostic, but this is my progress. So next week you'll be able to see where I get to. And I am just stitching, I guess I should go this way. Excuse me, I am stitching I was starting on the border, and I am now going to start in this block, which is the spring block, I believe. It tells me in the chart, so I'll be able to let you know. So that's the ink circles piece. And so that's all for Rain. So I have the Steel Rose, the April flower, ink circles, and a new start. So for the theme for the month, it was April showers, and I couldn't think of anything. So I was sitting down one day and I was like, April showers, you know the rhyme. April showers bring May flowers. I didn't have any May flowery anything. So then it hit me. April showers helps your fairy garden grow. So I was so ecstatic. So then I got to pull back out my fairy garden piece that I had started in January. And I was able to put in this second flower motif. Now, let me tell you, I actually have had this. This is the second one because I had it stitched already and realized that it was up too far to this one. So then I had to take it all back out again and restitch it. So this is where we're at for this month. And my goal on this project is to spend 4 hours on it. And technically I've already spent like an hour on it, but I'm not going to count all of that frogging and refrogging, putting it in, putting it in, frogging it out, putting it in. So I'm actually have 3 more hours to go on this piece. And I did this downward flower, but now I'm going to go across so that I can, not have so much fabric. I'm going to get my fabric cut off so that I can finish, just have it in for the size that I need it for. This is a 16 count Fortnite Fabrics, and it is Christmas Cactus. I really love all of the pieces that I am working on this month. Flowery, seasonal, all of that. And that also helps with all of the other stress. So that was my only real whip. I believe, I'm not for sure, and I tried to look back through to see where I was, but I couldn't find. But I also worked a little bit more on Beachy Keen, bringing the beach across. And again, if you remember, I think that this fabric, I cut it too short. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to put all of the words and all of that in. So I think I'm just going to put in the sandcastle and the waves down here and not really focus on the Beachy Keen part right now. I'm going to make sure I can get in all of the beach, the sandcastle, and the sand and the water before I focus on putting in Beachy Keen. Because worst case scenario, I just don't put in filling and Keen and just put Beachy, or maybe put Beachy Keen and leave out the filling, because I don't believe I'm going to have enough room to put those in. So we'll see when we get there. I'll be working on this a lot this coming weekend. So putting that go lay down. Putting the sand in on it. So I wanted to show you something. I have been working on getting things organized and cleaned up, and I came across my very first cross stitch. And it's funny because when I finished this, however many years ago it was, I can't remember now. I'm going to have to go back through pictures and Facebook groups, because this is the very first cross stitch I did. I took it to the beach with me one year. And it's so funny looking at this. I thought it looked so perfect when I finished it. And now I'm like, oh, this right here is all off. And when I showed it to my friends, they were all like, oh, that's so cute. Nobody pointed out to me that this was off. There's some stitches missing in here. What else was it that I saw? And I was like, oh. Oh yeah, there's one stitch that's not even in there. There's one stitch that's not even crossed. But you couldn't have told me that this wasn't perfect. And then I looked on the back, and I just want, and I'm not, making fun of my back or anything. I usually don't even point this out, but I wanted to show you all, and I don't know if you can see. You see that purple thread? I pulled it all the way from the bottom, all the way over here, just to make whatever stitch that is going into. And I think it is hilarious now. Because, like, now, I would never do that. I would never do. And then, like, right here, it's a whole nest of floss. But I thought it was super cute. And I said that I would show it to you all so that you could see it too. I don't know. I actually got this pattern from Michael's years and years ago. And it came with the hoop, the Ada, the floss, a needle, the whole shebang. And so I don't know if I could still find it, but I would love to restitch it now, um, because I actually do love the piece pattern, um, and all the vibrant colors. So I thought it would be really cute to maybe stitch up and do for June for Pride Month, but I'll have to see if I can find it. But I wanted to show you all that. The other thing is, I was I was talking to my friend Lynn, and she was saying something about finishing. And I said, I am actually kind of afraid to do FFOing, right? So I came across, in this one bag alone, there are 30 finished projects. It's probably actually more than that. But in this bag, there are 30. And then I have 2 over here. I have 1 over there. I have my new March that I just finished. And so Lynn suggested that I come up with a new segment called FO to FFO, and that I would work on doing 1 FFO a week, or however many times I've record, and show you that so that I could get moving on the whole FFO part. I seem to be doing pretty good on the FO part, but finishing, I see so many different finishes, and then you go, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. But then you're like, well, that doesn't really fit into my decor, or I don't want to spend that much money buying finishing pieces and all of that. So it's going to really force me to come up with some ideas and some different ways to finish things. So when I was going through accounting, looking for my first FFO, and I came across 2 finishes that I have done. And the first one is May. And I chose this one because we are actually getting ready to go into May. And so it would be great to have this up where it can be viewed. And then the next one is also a Lizzie Kate. Now this fabric is 14 count lamb's wool Ada, because for me it was a perfect neutral. This one is 14 count color and cotton that I think I pulled out of the remnant basket at Keepsakes, and I stitched this on there during a time where I was not feeling the best about myself, and so I stitched this to remind myself. So these are going to be my 2. I'm going to have 2 this time, only because the March one is very small, and so it shouldn't take me very long to figure out something to do with that, and be my own kind of beautiful. So next time I record, which I'm really praying that it'll be next week, I will have 2 FFOs for you all to see. I'm actually very excited about it. I have been collecting. It's not like I don't have things to FFO with, because I'm pretty bad about going to the clearance and just buying stuff. Like, if I like it, it's on clearance. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I'm taking it home with me. And that has been my MO for a long time. So I have a lot of stuff that I can finish cross stitch projects on. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. Thank you, Lynn, of getting some of these projects FFO'd. Now, quite a few of them are Christmas. So I'm going to have to, I'm not really in the mood to do Christmas right now. So I'm going to pull out ones that aren't Christmassy and FFO those. And then as we get closer to the holiday, I will start on the Christmas. So now that leads me to haul. And I don't have a lot of haul. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that someone in my quilt guild mailed this to me. I, for whatever reason, right now to post, my mailman must be on vacation, and so we have an RCA, and they can deliver mail any time of the day or the night, I guess. When I went to bed the other night, I did not have mail. When I woke up the next morning, this was sitting outside in an envelope, like it had been mailed. It had been mailed to me, but they didn't put it in the door. They just sat it on the step and left it there. And if I hadn't went to open the door, I wouldn't have not even have known it was there. But this is Lori Holt's Sew by Row pattern. And if I am not mistaken, this came out earlier this year or last year. I know they just finished the stitch along with it, because I watched them do the stitch along. And they also sent me all of the DMC floss for it. So the return address was actually my address. There was no note, there was no nothing. So the only thing that I could determine was that it did come from within Ohio, because it had the post office sticker on it that said what area of the post office it came from. That was it. So I am so thankful for my secret angel gifting. He's still running around. So, as you all know, Lynn X Stitch Creates is my girl. And I found this Riley Blake fabric. And it is all by Damask Love for Riley Blake. And it is called Girl Power. And I'll put the name, because it's not girl like GIRL. Go lay down. Albert, go lay down. Sorry. Every time I try to do this, he's right here. But both the pieces, so the inside, so all of these are all ladies. And then there are all different kinds of sayings inside the fabric. The back, she makes wonderful, wonderful bags. And so when I found the fabric, I had her make me one, because it's got a purple zipper. The little button says create. But then I also had her make a second one for a future giveaway. So one of my wonderful viewers could end up also, and we would have matching project bags. So So I was very excited about that. Then I was getting the mail yesterday, and another package came in the mail, and it had a little sticker on it, and it said Happy Mail. And it's from one of my friends that lives in Indianapolis, and it is the Primitive Hair Chart Freedom 1865. And I have loved this pattern ever since I saw it. This friend stitched it and posted a picture on Facebook, and I was just like, where did you get that, and where can I get it? I want that. And so she sent me, now this all happened last year. We were supposed to meet up. She was coming to Columbus, or not coming to Columbus, coming to Ohio. And so we were like, okay, we'll just do it. We'll just exchange when we get together. Well, that didn't happen. So she mailed it to me, and I am so happy about it. So I actually have not planned on starting this yet. I have a date in mind that I'm thinking that I am going to start it, but that'll be forthcoming. But it is going to be wonderful to stitch that. So then I am going to be participating. My Quilt Guild is having a class on the 24th, and we are going to be doing collage sewing. Yeah. And so I ordered that, and so I'll be working on this next weekend. We have this workshop, and this is what it's going to look like. And you use all different types of colors of greens and reds, burgundies, browns, blacks, and grays to make this. And it's called, this is just cactus, but it is a collage quilt project. So look forward to seeing me get work progress on that. Then the next thing is I am a CAFE, anything Free Spirit, and I picked up a package of Free Spirit 5-inch squares, and they are like, his colors are bold, big, bold. But he has some miraculous fabric, and I don't quite have a project in mind for this just yet, but I will be looking for something. It's funny, to me, I can buy fabric and not have any project in mind, but then when a project comes along, I'll know exactly, like, okay, I need to use this fabric for that. Just a couple of more things. I am in the Floss of the Month Club, both the Weeks Dye Works and the Classic Color Works at Fat Quarter Shop. And this is March's, and it's all these pretty different shades of green. And this was called Clover Green, and it has in it Wasabi, Meadow, Ivy, Emerald, Lucky, and Envy. And it's really, I mean, I don't use green a whole lot. I am now. And so I was really happy to get this. And when the Classic Color Works floss just shipped yesterday, so I'm sure that it'll be green also, but it'll be fine because I need, these clubs have helped me build up my over dyed threads, and so it's a great investment for me. And then I followed the Black Needle Society and watched their Flosstube, or their Instagram post, on this last box that they just had, which was the travel. All I can think of is traveling. And I was like, that pattern is wonderful because the pattern was by Ink Circles and it had all different kinds of ways you could travel: an airplane, hot air balloon, bicycle. It had all that on there. So, once the boxes all go out, they have a vault sale, and I was able to pick up Bouquet by Be Stitch Me, which was the silk floss that was in the box this month. And it is very, very beautiful. I actually own, and it's so soft. I do have a couple of silk flosses that I purchased when I was down at Fire Poppies for another project, but this doesn't have any. It's not it. It doesn't have a project for it yet, so I'm just gonna love it for a little while. It is so soft. Um, so that came from the Black Needle Society. And that is all of my haul. I told you to go lay down. Go lay down. Never fails. It's like a kid. So, plans. I am going to put in, well, I'm not sure how many hours I'm going to put in this coming week, but I'm going to be working on all things monthly magazine, cross stitch challenge. Because of everything that's been going on with work and being exhausted, I have really fallen off the map. I have not been in my groups very much, not even my quilting group very much. However, last weekend I had 2 Zoom meetups and it was so much fun. The first one was on Friday night, and we had, with the Quilt Guild, a pajama party, and we had on our pajamas. We were Zooming. I was cross stitching. There were ladies that were doing embroidery. They were sewing, making quilts, finishing quilts, and it was so much fun. It was really different, and I am thankful and grateful for all the different ways people are trying to keep people connected. Which leads me to Saturday, and my girls, Kim and Sarah, over at Stitch and Stuff, they hosted a Zoom on Saturday, and we stitched and talked and laughed, and nothing serious. We wasn't trying to solve world problems or anything like that, but it was really fun. Again, I don't have stitchers in my family. I don't, have people close to me in the city that I can mask up and meet somewhere. So it's really nice to be able to participate in Zoom meetups. For the magazine monthly, I've missed the last 2 months. So it's kind of like, oh, I don't get to see nobody and see their projects. But I'm grateful for the ones that I do get to get into, and it keeps me motivated and keeps me going also. So it was really fun. So I have been thinking about Mania, and here is what I'm thinking about Mania. I am not going to be doing Mania. I've done Mania one time, and it was in 2019 when I first started stitching, and I thought I was going to lose my mind. So, this year I was trying to figure out, do I want to do a finish Mania? Because I have projects that I need to push and get done. And then with everything that I have, been dealing with for the past few months, I was like, no, I think I'm going to do something different. So I have not looked up the hashtag yet, but by the time, by the end of the month, I will have a hashtag for it. And I am going to, okay, let me back up. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And if ever we needed to be aware of our own personal mental health, it is now. There are so many different things going on in the world. Just yesterday, someone got shot down the street from me. And even though they're not part of my family, it was in my neighborhood. Um, there are things over the news media, on social media, everywhere. And so this year, I am going to be stitching on a mental health piece. I actually got this pattern from Stitch Life magazine, and I will be working on a mental health piece for the month of May, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And May the 9th is actually Mental Health Awareness Day for children. And so I got this pattern from Stitch Life magazine, and I will be working on this the entire month from the 1st to the 31st in order to get it finished in 1 month. And if I get this finished actually before the month is out, I have another pattern chosen by Waxing Moon Designs, and it's Stitches Every Day Keeps the Crazy Away. I'll have to pull it out of my stash and show you next week. But those are the two patterns, because I do believe that it's very important that we work on our mental health by whatever means we have to. I have not hidden the fact that I talked to a therapist, and I don't know where I would be if I didn't talk to a therapist. Let me just say it that way. So if you would like to join me, you could go to Stitch Life magazine and get this same exact chart. And we could stitch it together. You don't have to stitch this chart. If you have a chart that speaks to you, that means something about mental health to you, you can stitch that. I am hoping that with all of the different issues and hashtags and ideas that we stitchers work towards, that this would also be a good one to work towards. Like I said, I don't know where I would be at today. I have been through a lot, and mental health has it means a whole lot. Let me just say it that way, because I'm not trying to bring anybody down, and I'm not trying to be down. So I thank you all for watching my video. I thank you for commenting and liking. I have been growing in subscribers, and it's really pleasing to know that other people like what you are doing. It's nice to have friends that you don't even really know yet. To have friends that you've never met, never seen. But I am thankful that I am still here and working and going through this whole journey. I am very thankful for cross stitch. It has also helped with my mental health. And so with that, I thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.